And another Dover race in the books. I think we all have about the same thoughts on this race. I'll wait for everybody sort of to just, come on in here before I say too awful much. But yeah, that was a normal Dover race. I don't think that was anything necessarily over the top. That wasn't anything that was worse than any other Dover race that we've ever seen has been. It was just sort of there. By the way, be sure to lick that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Looking at the chat right now, good to see a lot of you guys in here. And, I get it. That was relatively a dull race. And it might be the only race that we watched during the weekend. I'm going to pull up the weather really quick, looking towards tomorrow, and then we will get into the 2023 A Game 200. There's that. So, anyway, where's it at? Dover. Looking towards tomorrow. Holy Jesus. It's rough. It's really rough. It's going to start at 5 a.m. and it won't stop raining until about midnight. The heaviest rain will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., a little let up, and then really bad from about 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. So tomorrow, we aren't seeing racing. So this was it for the weekend. We'll probably see racing on Monday at this rate, but this was it for the weekend itself. And this race was the 2023 A Game 200, was 200 laps, 11 lead changes among 5 leaders, 6 cautions, and the race took only 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 56 seconds. So there is that. Looking at, it's a complete wash for Sunday. I applaud NASCAR for moving the start tomorrow back, as at least it would open up a bigger window, but but looking at the finishing order of this race, and then we'll get into the point by point of what happened today at Dover. Ryan Truex gets the win, then Josh Berry in second. After that, you have Allgaier, Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek, the top 5, Sammy Smith, Cole Custer, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, and Hemrick, the top 10. From there, you have Creed in 11th, Kaz Grala in 12th, Chandler Smith 13th, 14th, Kyle Weatherman, 15th, Brett Moffitt, 16th, Ryan Sieg, Parker Retzlaff, 17th, Jeb Burton, last week's winner, 18th. Now, by the way, everyone from Creed to Retzlaff, a lap down. Then Jeb is 2 down. Jeremy Clements also 2 down in 19th, as is Kraus in 20th, Herbst in 21st, Joe Graff Jr. 22nd, 23rd, Josh Williams, the final car, 2 laps down. Then from there, the next 2 are 3 laps down. 24th place, Poole and Ryan Ellis, 25th. 4 laps down, Raja Caruth in 26th. 27th, Gray Galding, and Stephen Parsons, 28th, 4 down. Kyle Sieg, 29th, 5 laps off the pace. Timmy Hill, 30th, 5 laps down. And then 31st, Garrett Smithley, 5 down. 7 laps down for Chad Chastain in 32nd. 33rd will be Emmerling in -8. And McLaughlin, 34th, -8 as well. Heim in 35th, 36th, Alfredo, 37th, Jeffrey Earnhardt, and 38th, Parker Kligerman. All 4 of them out of this race. For anybody who got in here a little later, wants to see where everybody finished, I will put it up at the top of the screen in a brief moment. Make sure that that's good. So there, up there, the 2023 A Game 200 results will fly across the top. If I got anybody wrong, spell anyone's name wrong, just went all out bad on it, then let me know. Looking in the chat right now, Matt Hunter brings up, maybe everyone will be better served if this weekend returned to the traditional early June spot on the calendar. I guess I could ask that as a poll. We'll go from there. Where you want the Dover weekend? Since I'm assuming we're only going to have one of them from now on. So I'll put May, June, and then hell, for the fun of it, we'll go back to September for it, even though I know it got changed for a couple years there. All right, asking you now. Just to let you know that whenever the Cup race is done, we will be doing a post-race stream for that. Maybe doing post-race streams at the track, possibly. Found a few loopholes, so saying. And I'm looking at the voting right now, and wow, nobody's saying September. Oh, wait, now it's changing. Okay. But yeah, we might be able to actually do some post-race streams at the track at Kansas, maybe Darlington, maybe have a couple of the guys from the podcast party bus, and then probably not North Wilkesboro, because that's in the middle of nowhere, and I want to be at that race. Loopholes, yes. I mean, I saw that. Oh, crap. Hold on. Accidentally messed the wrong thing. I saw that Jeff Gluck was live with Gordon Bianchi for the teardown this past week. So I figure that there are ways to, basically, you can't record the track. You can't record during the race. But doesn't mean you can't go in a broom closet in the media center and talk to you guys on a phone. It might not be like the same kind of graphics and stuff. We might have to do what we did the last year and go over stuff all over again, like go over the finishing order. But that might be a possibility. Also, this Tuesday, NR Cup Series on my channel, Bristol, a lot of fun, 300 laps there. First, the podcast on Danny B's channel, May 3rd, and the podcast party bus, which I will show you guys again after we get through the point-by-point recap of this race. But looking at the recap from stage one, to me, this race was a tale of two races. The first half of the race, stages 1 and 2, I thought were really fun. There was a good amount of passing, good amount of strategy, good amount of just all-around fun. Yes, Ryan Truex had the strongest car, but sometimes the strongest car is going to win no matter what. But you know what? Go out there and you have guys that are staying out like Kyle Weatherman did. We'll talk about that. You got guys that are starting to make their way through the pack. Others that are falling back. It was fun. Then you had the second half of the race, the final stage, where it was just sort of a straight up just race to the finish. Nothing really too much to write home about, so let's look at all of it now. I mean, we started out a little bit of action early in stage 1, 6 laps in. Jeremy Clements would spin, bringing out the first caution of the day. Freed managed to get past Cole Custer up front on the ensuing restart. Then a couple laps later, you have Ryan Ellis spinning. No caution for that one, though a caution would come out for the flat tire that Anthony Alfredo had. But that was due to a broken brake rotor that basically just disintegrated on the backstretch, cut the tire, brought out the caution from there. Kind of split the field. A couple stayed out and others pitted. You have the restart, though, on lap 25. Creed gets to the lead, but he has a hole in his nose, so you know that wasn't going to be very big. And then from there, you know, tires did really matter from what it looked like, as Ryan Truex just flew through the pack. Best car with the best tires. It's about what you think would happen. Truex gets the win in the stage. You know, then you have his teammate Nemechek behind him. Then you have the 2 RCR cars. You have 2 JGR cars in stage 1. Then you have 2 RCR cars. Then you have 2 JRM cars. And then after that, you know, you start shuffling it out a little bit. But starting stage 2, it got kind of wonky. Somehow something, maybe it was that broken brake rotor, something had hit Riley Herbst's roof and damaged the roof. So the team had the bright idea, once I believe the roof hatch came up, to tape the roof hatch, which is a safety hazard. Because say that car gets pinned up against a wall and catches fire, Riley Herbst has nowhere to go. So they have to cut the tape off. And from there, Fox, I don't think, really ever followed too much up on it. But after that, you have Weatherman staying out, and he managed to actually hold his own and did get a good 14th place finish on the day. So it wasn't like he had a bad car whatsoever. So smart on them to give it a shot. And then you have probably the best piece of the race, the part that everybody's going to be talking about outside of Truex, and that is Parker Kligerman getting spun and crashed by Corey Heim, and then getting out of his car, standing, waiting for him, and flipping him off, giving him the "You're number one" sign, which I thought was pretty fun. You have on lap 69, a restart where Ryan Truex runs off as he would for most of the day, and he ends up winning the stage again. Now, before we get into the little bit that happened in the final stage, be sure to lick the like button. Let's get those likes up. Subscribe if you're new. Let's have some fun on this one. By the way, after we talk about the Xfinity race, we'll preview anything you want about the Cup race as well as this week. And we'll just keep rolling from there. But the final stage starts on lap 101, or starts, I believe, actually closer to like lap 98, 95, somewhere in there. But lap 101, Sheldon Creed, battling for position, spins in front of the field, in front of everybody, and miraculously, the 2-car does not get hit. I'll say this, it's surprising at Dover to not have somebody hit when they're basically facing the other way from the field. But good on the drivers behind him for some heads-up driving. Good on him for saving it at that. He didn't hit anything. A very rare spin and no contact in front of the field at Dover. So, good stuff there. But that was probably the flashiest, biggest thing to happen in the final stage of the race. With 88 to go, after a restart between Hill and Truex, Truex flies by. They start clicking off laps. You have a bit of strategy towards the end where I believe it was Sheldon Creed, Riley Herbst, Brett Moffitt, and Jeb Burton. They all try staying out, trying to gain that track position through strategy, as track position today was king above all, and it ends up not working. No caution ends up coming out. Nothing saves them. Creed ends up finishing 11th. Jeb ends up finishing 18th. Moffitt ends up finishing 15th in the 25. And Riley Herbst 21st after a speeding penalty on that pit stop that he would take. From there, Ryan Truex runs away with the race. I believe he won it by over 5 seconds. And that was pretty much it. So once again, as the storyline goes, and I'm going to go throw this away. I put my garbage can on the other side of the room so I can have fun almost playing basketball. Nailed it. But yeah, not really too awful much to talk about with that race. Just a very straightforward race for the most part. I appreciate the strategy moves towards the end, but just ended up not working. There's not much more to say about it. Now, things to look forward to. We'll talk about the Cup race in a moment, but I want to show you guys a little more about the announcement we had this past week. I will make sure that the running order stays up front. I'll move it if it's, not exactly worth having in front, in case it's not legible or in any way. But actually, you know what? We'll just pop this back on in a moment. We'll get the post race results on back on in a moment. But I want to show you guys the announced car we got, the podcast party bus, put together through Daily Downforce, and a lot with Eric too, so big thanks to them. But look who's right by the rear wheel right there. Look at that. That's my logo. I'm gonna be on a car, and there's Danny, and there's Darian, and on the front, on the hood, we got Scene Vault Podcast, the Garage Guys. I cannot wait to see this on the track at Darlington. Yeah, it's not a throwback, but it's distinctly something for us. I think it's badass, personally. Comics by Bruno also made this really cool design. We're calling it the podcast party bus. So, of course, we have to have a design to make it look like a party bus, and it's awesome. And of course, I'm driving. Eric's too damn tall. Darian's smiling out the side. Danny's got a fishing pole. I love this. I cannot wait for this to happen, and to be there in person for it. Like I am, you don't know how excited I am, how thankful I am to all of you at home, for all the support. But I can't wait for that. So I just want to remind you guys of that. And if you want to buy a t-shirt with the party bus on it, go to dailydownforce.com/partybus. Now, tomorrow we got the Cup race. Of course, Alex Bowman is out. That's the biggest news, I think, leading into the weekend. He had that broken vertebra in that crash he had during the week, which that absolutely sucks. Because Bowman's been having such a good year, and his fans and everybody else has no way for no way to celebrate it. I feel for him, man. I feel. But I still think Bowman can make it. He's consistent. They're fast. I think as long as this injury doesn't affect him too much driving-wise, I think he'll be able to do pretty well. But only time will tell on it. I want to thank Michael Kelly-Gilliam for the 5 gifted memberships. By the way, every month we're going to be doing a race watch-along. I don't know when we will this month. But we did the 1992 Hooters 500 members-only watch-along. It was a ton of fun. So if you are a new member or if you want to return as a member, we do have that. It's a lot of fun to do together. And I basically just answer every question. Anything you got in the chat, as long as it's appropriate, I'll answer. But, yeah, tough luck for Bowman. I'm wondering, with the experience today, with how good he's been in the past at Dover, how well do you think that Josh Berry will do? Hold on, let me write it up. We're gonna make a poll. So I'll just say winner, top 10, top 20, DNF. All right, that's your options right there. How well do you think Josh Berry is going to be performing tomorrow or hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed tomorrow, in the Cup race? Yeah, we better damn well hope that vortex theory works. But this is a Monday race. I mean, looking at the forecast, it looks like it's going to rain. Maybe we can have an act of God and the rain will split around it, but I don't know, man. It's looking rough, to say the least. But I don't know. I've seen crazier things happen before. If there is a race tomorrow, it's definitely a race to the end of stage 2 or halfway or whenever comes first, as is the rule. I'm sticking with my pick, though. I think Kyle Larson's going to win this thing. I think Kyle Larson's going to win. I think he's very much set to run well. Of course, so is Elliott and William Byron. So it's going to be an interesting race. I mean, Jeff Gluck said that the teams are viewing this as a litmus test for who is good and who is not. So we're going to see. We are going to see. Letting the votes roll on in here. Looking like a lot of you think top 10 or top 20. Not many saying winner, chicken dinner, or DNF. Looking at the chat as well. Where'd it go? I saw somebody... Spencer, said, not going to cross my fingers. Sunday's not going to happen. Dover is in an area flood warn watch all day tomorrow. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Any other questions before we head out? Again, like I said, whether it's tomorrow or Monday, we're going to be streaming after the Cup race, giving you guys in-depth on everything. Kyle Busch, yes, on the poll. Today would have been Dale Earnhardt's 72nd birthday. I did see that. A Truex Dover sweep. If Eric Estep is correct with his pick, that would be the case. Looking at the picks, Eric has Truex. Chat and Danny have Elliott. And then Darian and I have Larson. So very interesting. Reaction to the Vikings draft performance. Honestly, for what, for only having 4 or 5 picks going in, I like the idea of getting more picks, and the picks we do have are pretty good. So I like that. Final reminder that we will be live tomorrow or Monday whenever the races run for Cup. We'll be live after the race. We'll be live on Tuesday night on this channel for the NR Cup Series. We will be live as well on Danny B Talks channel Wednesday night. And then we may be live at Kansas at the track after both trucks and definitely Cup. I will do an effort to do so. If not, I will make an effort to as many as possible. And remember, Podcast Party Bus is now only 2 weeks away. 2 weeks, so going to be a lot of fun. We're on the poll here. Most of you, or at least plurality, say that Josh Berry will get a top 10. A lot of others say top 20. 7% split each for DNF and win. But that about covers it. I will be back at some point this weekend or week to cover that Cup race. But if nothing else, you know what? Y'all have a good weekend. Have fun. And let's go Cup racing eventually. But till next time, see you later. Have a good one.